Hi, I'm Bev. I'm here in my knittery, and I have something unusual for you today. My creative self is so inspired by the fiber community and the fibers that I've been inspired to write. Deep in my heart, my old broken heart, I'm a writer. A writer who doesn't write very much any longer, a storyteller who may not have much left to tell. I've written a true story about what happened to me today, all before 11 o'clock this morning. I wish I could tell it without my notes, but I don't want to leave anything out, and I don't want to leave anything out, and I want to tell it in order. So I'm going to read the story I wrote. I think I'm a fairly good reader, and it's a pretty good story, so I hope you'll listen to the yarn brought to you by the letter B and the number 11. Although I always want more yarn, I haven't been watching any of the tempting Hobby Lobby or other clearance yarn videos that are playing all over YouTube. I don't need more yarn. I especially don't need cotton or acrylic or blend yarns. And I doubt Hobby Lobby or any of the other big box stores with clearances going on would have anything else on clearance that would interest me because I use wool. I know Hobby Lobby has I love this wool, but they're not going to put that on clearance. This morning on the Affordably Geeky live YouTube, they talked about clearance yarns. I usually watch, but I missed the first hour. I wasn't concerned because I thought they would be talking about clearance yarns, and that probably wouldn't, I wouldn't mind missing that. Not that it wouldn't interest me. I wouldn't mind missing a little bit of that. And I ran an errand and I got home and I started watching, and as soon as Kim saw my name, she put up a skein of I love this wool yarn. She put it right up into the camera. And she said my name, and I didn't look. She waved it around, and she called my name again. And I took a little peek, but I didn't look. I don't need more yarn. She said my name again, and she said, look at the price. So I looked. It says $1.62. Regular price, $7.49. A few minutes later, my laptop screen started to spin, and I figured the internet was going to go out for a while, in and out, in and out. That's what it's been doing. We've been having some rain, and we've had some internet outages. That just what had been happening. And what happened next, of course, was that I went to Hobby Lobby. As soon as I walked in, I saw a man from church waiting, sitting on a bench there at the front of the store. He didn't see me, but I knew that his wife would be in the yarn. I tried to slip down the aisle without attracting her attention. She's a nice lady and I wanted to talk, but I wanted the yarn more. She saw me. I waved hi and moved to the next aisle. And in the next aisle, there was the lady with the pricing gun and the orange stickers. She was sitting on a stool, patiently turning skeins of yarn and snapping that orange sticker out of her gun and smacking it on the ball bands. I didn't disturb her. It's like seeing a celebrity in public. You want to run up and hug them as if you've known them for years. You know them, you've seen them thousands of times. But you keep a respectful distance as you shoot flames of admiration out of the corners of your eyes, hoping against hope to get the hint of a smile or eye contact. It was a moment of hope and joy, a rare and quiet space where things that are meant to be came together, where everything seemed right. Not everywhere, not for all time, not for everyone, but for me. In that yarn aisle, in that Hobby Lobby, there was everything I needed. And here came Bet, calling my name. I had to stop and talk. I like her. We hadn't had a chance to visit for quite a while. So I just stopped and talked to her. The whole time, and this was not a brief conversation all about how she tried to teach her granddaughter to knit before, but it hadn't worked and Bet had felt like a failure. But now her granddaughter, who's 17, is really getting it. They were going through her yarn and it made her think of me. The whole time I was calculating how rude it would be to lean around her to stroke a hank of yarn or see if it had an orange tag. I tried to be patient and pay attention to what she was saying as we chatted about our crafts and agreed how we'd always rather be doing our crafts than anything else. I heard a laugh. The woman with the clearance gun chuckled and she joined in our conversation. She agreed she always wanted to be quilting. She used to knit and crochet, but now she's a quilter. She told us she has a long arm quilting machine and she did a lot of quilting on it for other people. Her name was Brenda. So, there's the three of us. Bet, Brenda, and Bev having a moment in one of the yarn aisles in the Hobby Lobby. Bet had the yarn she wanted, one lonely skein, so she moved on and I went to the next aisle to leave Brenda to her important task. I found the I Love This Wool, and it wasn't marked down. But now that I had a connection with Brenda, I felt like I could ask about it. She got her laminated sheets of information with pictures of yarn and all this information, and she went down the list and she found 2 colors of I Love This Wool on her list to be put on clearance. These 2 colors were on her list. She said to show her what I wanted and that she would mark it down. So I put all of them that were there into my shopping basket. She slapped one of those vibrant orange stickers on every ball band. I kept thanking her. I thanked her for her time and her patience and her willingness to go ahead and mark it down for me. I said I could come back later in the day, and she just graciously marked it down and let me have the beautiful yarn. She was modest about her powers, as are most true superheroes. When I got to the checkout, the line was kind of long, but it moved quickly. The cashier's name was Bless. I'm not making this up. Bet, Brenda, Bev, and Bless. As Bless popped the skeins of yarn into the bag, she talked to me. She chatted as she counted them. And I said, oh, be careful about talking while you're counting. You might miscount. There's 3 of them. She laughed and she looked in the bag and she said, there's 10. All this before 11 o'clock this morning. And there were 11 skeins in the bag. The end. Now it's time to knit or crochet.